It's almost Labor Day, and you know what that means. The 2025 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs are finally here. So today, I will talk about each individual driver, and at the end, I will give my round-by-round predictions along with my championship pick. Now, I'm going to try and do better this year, seeing as how the last 2 seasons, I predicted the eventual champion to be out in the first round. And in a shocker, I think Ryan Blaney will be eliminated in the round of 16. Then I have Daniel Suarez and Joey Logano missing the next round. So I have to get this season right. But anyway, let's roll through with the playoff drivers. 16 seed, Alex Bowman. Bowman got off to a hot start this year and was third in points. But he encountered a slump and slipped back to the cut line. But in the 11 races leading up to the playoffs, Bowman had an average finish of 11.1. Bowman was consistent enough to point his way into the playoffs and was also consistent enough to finish 9th in points. But he has no stage wins and hasn't really shown race-winning speed that often. However, Bowman enters the playoffs with a 10th best average finish and has been consistent lately. I could see Bowman going on a similar run to last year. 15 seed, Austin Dillon. Austin Dillon got in from his clutch win at Richmond. There really isn't much to say about Dillon's season. He has the 3rd worst average finish among playoff drivers and was 28th in points before his big win. So I think we all know where this season is going for Austin Dillon. 14 seed, Tyler Reddick. Reddick has been kind of a weird case this season. While he has been consistent, he hasn't won a race and has only won 2 stages. Reddick has shown speed at times, but the problem is that he just hasn't been near as good or consistent as he was last year. But even with that, he has still been good. Reddick ranks 8th in average finish among playoff drivers and has shown speed at times. Expectations should be at least to make the round of 12 and maybe the round of 8. 13 seed, Josh Berry. Josh Berry got a win early in the season at Las Vegas, but since then, he's been non-existent. Berry ranks 15th in average finish among the playoff drivers, and outside of short tracks, he hasn't looked like a contender since then, and has barely been top 30 in points. Unless he has some magical run, I can't see him making it past the first round. 12 seed, Joey Logano. Logano got a win in a chaotic Texas race earlier in the year, but since then, hasn't remotely shown race-winning pace. Joey has been non-existent and only has 3 top 5s all year. Another thing is that there is no drafting track in the first round to bail him out this year, and it's also an odd-numbered year. Honestly, I think Joey could easily be a first-round exit. 11 seed, Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain has been inconsistent this season. You can definitely tell that Chastain is being held back by Trackhouse's ability to consistently give him a good car. While Chastain got that clutch win at the Coke 600, he hasn't had any race-winning speed the rest of the season, and it just feels like he's getting worse every season to no fault of his own. I think Chastain will get past the first round, but after that, I just can't see him going any further. 10 seed, Austin Cindric. Cindric has been average this year and has been par for the course for the rest of his career. While he got a win at Talladega earlier in the year, he hasn't been up front consistently. Cindric has been out of the picture for the majority of the year, and I have a hard time believing that he will make it out of the first round. 9 seed, Bubba Wallace. Bubba has flipped the script from last season. Last year he missed the playoffs but was semi-consistent and missed out due to not having a win. But this year, he has a win but has been very inconsistent. While he has gotten a lot of stage points, the finishes just do not come together for him all that often. He is tied for the most DNFs in the series with 7 and has the 12th best average finish among playoff drivers. I could definitely see Bubba getting past the first round, but the second round could be a different story. 8 seed, Chase Briscoe. Briscoe has made the playoffs in his first season with JGR. Briscoe got a win at Pocono and has been really consistent this year. He has the 3rd best average finish in the series and has kept up with the top guys. Briscoe is an easy lock for the round of 12 and most likely the round of 8, and he could maybe make the final 4. 7 seed, Chase Elliott. Elliott has been much like last season, consistent enough to be in the top 5 in points but not enough to win consistently. While he did win in Atlanta, he hasn't shown a ton of race-winning speed, and when he has, his team has screwed him. I think of Dover and Kansas earlier in the year. This is why I could easily see this team making the round of 8, but the final 4 is just a big unknown. 6 seed, Shane Van Gisbergen. SVG has won 4 races and is seeded pretty highly, but the problem is his oval racecraft. While he has improved on ovals, I just don't know if that's going to be enough to get past the first round. The entire first round is ovals. At Darlington earlier in the year he finished 20th, Gateway is going to be a first for him, and at Bristol he finished 38th. While he has a decent cushion, it's going to come down on how he performs on the ovals. 5 seed, Christopher Bell. Bell got off to a hot start, winning 3 in a row early in the season, but he hasn't quite had that race-winning speed to win a 4th race on the year. But he hasn't been bad like a lot of people say he's been. He's been in and around the top 5 in points all year and has a second best average finish among all playoff drivers. So my prediction for Christopher Bell is that he will make the Final 4. 4 seed, Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney has had a lot of bad luck this year. He is tied for the series lead with 7 DNFs. But out of Penske and really Ford as a whole, Blaney has been the best. He has 2 wins on the year, and this playoff schedule really favors him. A lot of flat tracks, and Talladega is in the round of 8 this year. Blaney has been the best super speedway racer in the Gen 7 era and has been one of the best flat track drivers. So Blaney could possibly make his 3rd consecutive championship 4. 3 seed, Denny Hamlin. Hamlin has won 4 races this year on all kinds of tracks. Hamlin, despite missing a race, was in contention to win the regular season championship at one point. But since that win at Dover, Hamlin has had 3 finishes of 24th or worse, and this cost him the regular season title. However, I'm not worried about Hamlin, as I think he'll be able to make the round of 8 and possibly return to the championship 4 for the first time since 2021. 2 seed, William Byron. Our regular season champion William Byron has been elite this season. Despite only having 2 wins, Byron has been up front a lot this season, as he has scored the most stage points and the 2nd most stage wins of anybody in the playoffs. Byron enters the playoffs tied for the 1 seed, and the goal for this team should be to return to the Final 4 for the 3rd year in a row. 1 seed, Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson won 3 of the first 12 races. However, Larson hasn't won since then and has only led 68 laps. Larson seems like he hasn't had race-winning speed in a while, but while not being terrible, hasn't really been in contention to win anything. But Larson still has a 5th best average finish in the series and is the 1 seed. So maybe he can turn it on in the playoffs and return to the Final 4. Now for the predictions. In the round of 16, I think Kyle Larson will get his season back on track with a win in the Southern 500. I believe Ryan Blaney will win at Gateway and Denny Hamlin will win the race at Bristol. As for the eliminations, Josh Berry is an obvious pick. The other obvious elimination being Austin Dillon. My 3rd elimination will be Austin Cindric. Finally, my shock elimination is Joey Logano. Logano has not shown speed at Darlington and was terrible at Bristol earlier in the year, so he will not make the round of 12. In the round of 12, I predict that Christopher Bell wins at New Hampshire, William Byron wins at Kansas, and SVG comes in clutch with a win and a round of 8 appearance in his rookie season. I made this prediction in February and I am sticking by it. As for the eliminations, here's where Bubba Wallace's playoff run will end, along with Chastain, Bowman, and the guy getting bumped due to SVG's win will be Tyler Reddick. In the round of 8, I think Chase Briscoe wins at Las Vegas, a non-playoff driver wins at Talladega, and Ryan Blaney wins the Martinsville cutoff race for the 3rd year in a row. The drivers being eliminated in the round of 8 will be SVG. His magical run will end here. Denny Hamlin's season will come to a heartbreaking end, along with Chase Elliott, and the 1 seed Kyle Larson will be eliminated. That leaves the Final 4 of William Byron, Ryan Blaney, Christopher Bell, and Chase Briscoe. Now all 4 of these drivers in the regular season have combined for 8 wins. So this won't be the strongest championship 4, but it is the one I predict happening. Now as for my championship pick, as a Larson and Byron fan, I really want to say William Byron, but for some reason, I feel like I'm going to be let down again. I made this prediction in February and I am sticking by it, but I think Christopher Bell will win the championship. Bell is a sleeping giant. While he hasn't won since March, he has still been really consistent, and I think he'll turn it on in these playoffs and win the championship. Well, anyway, that's going to do it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 4,000 by the end of the year. Thank you to my channel members. Follow me on Instagram, and I will see you next time for another video. Y'all have a good one.